As a small business owner, have you ever felt overwhelmed by the pressure of choosing the right hire or leading a team? Or have you ever found yourself tolerating a bad hire because you fear trying and failing again as you repeat the hiring process? If so, you're not alone, and you are in the right place. Welcome to the Growing Your Team podcast. The Growing Your Team podcast teaches business owners like you to expand your unique business by teaching you to master the hiring and team management process. Hiring and managing a team does not have to be a challenge. You just have to learn to do it right. And the Growing Your Team podcast teaches you how to become a confident leader who hires right every single time. Now, let's jump into the show where each episode you will learn tips on how to identify what type of help you need on your team, how to source amazing candidates, how to conduct interviews that lead you to your ideal team member, how to onboard successfully, and how to lead every person in your business so you have a team of rock stars who you are happy to pay every single paycheck. So let's jump in and teach you how to hire like a pro. Hello, Jamie Van Kuyk here, and welcome back to the Growing Your Team podcast. Today, I want to talk about something that is a topic most business owners do not want to hear. As we go to hire our team members, we want those team members to stay around for as long as possible. We don't want to have to keep refilling the same position. We don't want to have to say goodbye to great team members or lose great team members. We don't want to bring on bad team members. We want to hire and have it be great long-term hires. But I have to tell you the cold hard truth. When your business is in scaling phase, the people that you hire might not grow with you. This is even true if you're in a growth phase. So if you don't know the difference, growing is where your revenue grows in line with your expenses, and scaling means your revenue grows at a faster pace than your expenses, or your expenses stay pretty consistent. So when you are in this growing or scaling mode, your business changes. And as a result, the team members that you need today might not be the team members that you need tomorrow. So let's look at this. And when I say tomorrow, I mean months in the future. Obviously, if your business is in the process of making huge changes right now, let's hold off on that hire until we figure out exactly who we need, so you're not having to change a position on a new employee's first day. But one of the ways to look at this is sometimes when you are growing or scaling your business, you need help, but you can't afford full-time help. So we look at a team member who is part-time, or we look at a team member who's even a contractor, because that's all I can have right now. Maybe I only need a few hours a month or a few hours a week versus someone that's full-time. And as your business continues to grow or scale, that need changes to be more expansive. So you need someone for even, maybe it's still part-time, but more hours. Or you want to switch that person from a contractor to an employee. Or you need someone who can go from part-time to full-time. Well, guess what? That might not happen. The person that you hired for, let's say, 10 hours a week might not be able to give you 20 hours a week. The person that you hired as a contractor might enjoy being a contractor and working with multiple clients and doesn't want to work with you in an employee capacity. That person that is looking for part-time hours right now might not want or have the ability to work full-time hours. And that's okay. Unless you know you're going to be making the change within a set time period. So let's say it's going to be part-time for 3 months, and you know at the end of 3 months it is 100% moving to a full-time role. Hire for what you need today. Don't worry about when you're hiring, can this or will this person grow as the business grows, as the position grows. Hire for what you need today. And yes, this might mean you have to part ways and find someone new to join your team once you get to that that next stage. But that's part of owning a business. It's part of the business decisions that we make and that we move forward with. When you don't hire who you need today, one of two things can happen. You either don't get someone who's going to do amazing work, or you overhire. So you're hiring someone that has more skills, that demands a higher pay, that you're giving them more hours than you can really afford and sustain. So then that person's not happy and they leave. Or you're not happy with that underperformer, so you want them to leave. So hire who you need today versus trying to think what this might be in the future. Because once again, people might not grow and change with your business, and that's 100% okay. Let me give you an example from my business. So my very first employee, I hired her part-time 10 hours a week. Probably about 6 months later, I realized that I needed more help than 10 hours a week. I approached this team member and I said, okay, I need 20 hours of support in my business that really kind of revolves around what you're doing, so I can expand your hours if you're willing to take on more work. And she thought about it and she said, I cannot take on 20 hours of work a week. She had other jobs, other things going on, and she just did not have it in her capacity and was not willing to overwork and everything. So she was going to stay at those 10 hours a week. So my original thought was, I will then hire a second team member at 10 hours a week so I can keep this amazing person on my team and then hire someone else to do the other work. Because the work that these two team members were doing were intertwined, I got to the point where it was really difficult for me to create clear lines of distinction and clear handoffs of what one team member would be doing versus the other team member. And I realized that in order to keep this team member that I loved, I would be making bad leadership decisions in my business. Because with the help that I needed at that point in time, it didn't make sense to split it across two team members. It really needed to be one team member. Now, with the situation, I ended up lucking out that around the time that I was going to have this conversation with this team member, that she either needed to give me 20 hours or I was going to have to find a new team member and let her go. She ended up getting a new full-time job elsewhere, so she wasn't going to be able to give me the 10 hours a week anymore either. So we were able to end up split and go our separate ways in a way that worked best for both of us. So it worked out perfectly fine. But it is one of those things, like, I realized, and I just want to reiterate this again, that I would be doing my business a disservice by keeping her on my team at 10 hours a week when I really needed 20. And that hiring two team members, so another team member to fill in that gap, was not right for my business process. It would cause more headaches than it would give me benefit. So make the decisions that are right for your business, even if it means you have to part ways with your current team member because they can't give you what you need next. The next team member I hired was at 20 hours a week. During the time when she was with my business slightly changed. And the way my business slightly changed, it meant that some of the work that she was doing was no longer going to be there at the same scale. So there was no longer going to be 20 hours of work a week for her to do at the capacity of what she was doing. So instead, I said, here's other places where I need help in the business. It's not related to this role. I went to that team member and said, here's your options. I can keep you at 20 hours a week, but your role is going to be 50% X and 50% Y. I understand I didn't hire you to do Y and you might not need to do it, but I'm putting the offer on the table. Or I cut you back to 10 hours a week. Or we part ways. She made the decision that she didn't want to do the Y work, that it wasn't in her wheelhouse. It wasn't something that she was looking forward to and would prefer not to do that. She also, because of the income that she needed to support her family, couldn't cut down to 10 hours a week. So we made the decision to part ways because it was what was needed for my business. And yes, it meant that I was losing a team member. Yes, it meant I had to go back out and rehire. but it was the right decision for my business. Both of these team members that I shared, they were great team members, and they were only with me for about 6 to 8 months each. And a lot of people will sit there and say, oh my gosh, you had to go back out and hire again in 6 to 8 months. Like, hiring is just such a pain. Why would I don't want to do that again. But the thing is, I got amazing work out of those team members in those 6 to 8 months. They gave me what I needed during that time. And yes, I could have kept both of them on in the capacity that they originally were hired for, but that was not what my business needed. The decisions needed to be made around what my business needed and what was right for my business at that step, and not just based on the team that I have today. So your team might not grow with you. So there we talk a little bit about hours and being able to do the work, and a little bit about what my business needed in terms of roles and responsibilities. So the roles and responsibilities might change as you scale. What you're doing now might look different if you change your service line, if you change the products that you're offering. And you need to make sure you have the team to support what's actually going on in your business and not keeping people just because you don't want to hire again. So it's okay that your team does not grow with you. It's okay to say, we have reached the end of the road with this amazing employee. My final tip for you is, if you realize you reach the end of the road with an amazing employee, be open, be honest, give them other options if they exist within the organization because you do love them, and give them ample time to find something else, right? So if you can, don't say, hey, your job's ending next Friday. Say, maybe, if you can, because of the changes in the position, because of the changes in the business, and we're deciding that this relationship's not working out, this position will be eliminated in 2 months, or things like that. And then do what you can to help them find the next opportunity. Refer them to other people that you know. Be a reference. Give them that extra time to go out and interview, so that way they can understand that you are leaving on good terms. You did value them as a team member. It's just it's not the right fit for both moving forward. So once again, your team might not grow with you. It's just a part of scaling and growing your business. It does not mean you hired the wrong person. So hire who you need today. And when your business changes, hire who you need to move forward from that point. Are you tired of going through a hiring process that supplies unqualified candidates, wastes your time interviewing tons of people who are not right for the position, and leads you to hiring someone who you just want to fire a few months later? Then it's time for you to download my free checklist, the Hiring Checklist, how to hire the right team for your growing business. This checklist will teach you the 8 action steps you need to complete for a successful hiring process. Imagine the goals you could have, the clients and customers you could serve, and the revenue growth that could happen with the right people on your team. If you're ready to learn the steps that are required to hire like a pro, then head on over to growingyourteam.com/checklist to download your free copy of the Hiring Checklist, how to hire the right team for your growing business.